Okay, I want to welcome you to this short presentation from Farmsense Grasscutter base. This is the first of Oludele Atunishi. Before we go too far, if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can do so now. Subscribe to this channel by commenting, like, share, and subscribe, and also click on the notification button or bell so that you can receive update or notification every time we upload a new video on this channel, or every time we upload a new insightful video like this. Okay, let's go back to the discussion how to perfectly choose the right grass cutter breed for your farm setup, long breed or short breed grass cutter. This is a question every newbie or existing farmer must answer before you buy a new animal into your farm. Either you are a newbie or you are existing farmer, this is something you must know. Else you just be setting up your farm for the sake of anyhow without any reason for what you are doing. So in this short video, we shall be talking and I will be explaining and sharing with you what you need to know in choosing the right breed for your farm setup, either as an existing farmer or intending newbie. A lot of existing and intending newbie grass cutter farmer don't know their farm animal breed, and some also insist on a particular breed without considering the advantage and disadvantage associated to such grass cutter breed they want to stock their grass cutter farm with. And this is what this short presentation is intended to answer. What breed of grass cutter is good for my farm setup, long breed or short breed? So either you are an existing grass cutter farmer or an intending new grass cutter farmer, you have to give attention to this presentation so that it will help you to decide or to choose the kind of breed you have to bring into your farm. Every breed of the grass cutter, they are good, either long breed or short breed, but it must meet your farm setup objective. If not, you are buying wrong breed. If the breed you are buying is not in line with your farm setup, then you are wasting money. So there's no problem buying short breed, there's no problem buying short breed. They are all good kind of grass cutter breed, but they are not good if they are not meeting your grass cutter farm setup objective. So now the question now is that this is now before you will be able to correctly or perfectly choose your kind of breed you want to set up, you want to put in your farm, in your grass cutter farm, you must have what we call farm setup objective. So, and this will be answered here, that what is your farm setup objective? Number one, your farm setup objective must either be farm multiplication for breeding stock production. Are you the type that you want to set up your farm, that you want a situation whereby you want to raise breed stock for other farmers or intending farmers to get it from you? So number one objective is that, okay, do you want to be a breeder? You want to breed for others, especially for other intending grass cutter farmer or existing grass cutter farmer. That is one objective that you must answer. Do I want to be breeding basically for intending farmers or existing farmer? That's number one thing. And number two objective is that, do you want to breed or raise do you want to set up your farm for table size production, as in meat consumption? That is, you want to raise you are setting up your grass cutter farm basically to meet the target market of the consumer, people that need grass cutter for consumption. That is raising your grass cutter to a table size and sell it to the consumer. So we can see now that we have two basic farm setup objective: farm multiplication for breeding stock for production, as in you want to grow and multiply your farm with a breed stock that you can sell to other farmers, either existing or intending farmer. That is one objective. Or your objective is to raise a table size grass cutter meat for consumption to consumer. So if you have concluded on this, or your own objective let's add that one partially to that, or your own objective is to produce both for the intent to breed for intending farmer and existing farmer, and at the same time produce for consumer. So what is your farm setup objective? You must be able to answer this. If you are able to answer this question very well, that is your farm setup objective, that is when you will be able to know the kind of grass cutter breed you must stock your farm with. Now, haven't seen or know or answer the question of your farm setup objective. When you have answered this, the next thing now is let's explain type of grass cutter breed. The type of grass cutter breed, we have long breed grass cutter. These are longer in body length size. We call them giant grass cutter. So they are giant in size, that they are very big, they are long, and they have, I think they have more bigger, they grow more bigger and longer. So that is the one peculiarity about long breed grass cutter. As the name implies, long breed, that is they are longer in body size. And then we have short breed grass cutter. These are shorter in body length size, and you can call them maybe dwarf grass cutter. Probably that is the English I think I can use for them. I think the opposite of giant is dwarf, but if there's any other better English we can put it, fine. But for now, we have long breed and we have short breed. So this is the basic two basic grass cutter breed that I know for now that we have. So these two, they are the ones that are marketable, but it is marketable based on your farm setup objective. Okay, so if your farm setup objective for multiplication and breeding stock for potential farmers, or your own is for consumption to the consumer, raising it to table size for market, for people that will use it for consumption, good. So but whatsoever your objective will determine the type of grass cutter breed you must stock your farm with. And however, if you want to breed both for the farmers and for the consumer, good. So that means that you can do a kind of hybrid something, either by yourself or get someone that have such. Okay, now that we have you have answered the question of your farm setup objective, then we have answered the question of the type of grass cutter breed we have. Now wait before you choose, because now say, okay, thank God that I've seen that, okay, we have a long breed and we have short breed, and my farm setup objective. Now before you make conclusion, you need to know the difference between long breed and short breed before you conclude that, okay, this is my farm objective, and then I will go for it. So with the difference between long breed and short breed grass cutter will help you to decide which one fits in to your kind of farm setup objective. So until you know the difference between the two breeds we have, basically, then you will not be able to know which one fits into your farm setup objective. Is your farm setup objective is to breed for consumption, or is to breed for farm multiplication for the intending grass cutter farmers? So the difference between the two, this long breed and short breed, will go a long way to help you to make decision as regard the type of breed and your farm setup objective. Now we can see this on the screen. This is one where a man holding grass cutter. You can see now. I will show you another one. Can you see? We have this. If you look at the three pictures side by side, you see that the one, especially the man in the middle, if you look at the grass cutter he hold in his left hand side and the one he hold in his right hand side, you discover that one is shorter, one is longer. And to you, to be sincere, this animal, they may be of the same age and the same gender. And you can see the man here, this man, if you look at it here, look at this one, you can see that this one is shorter and this one is longer. So I want to use this picture as a typical example. This is a long breed Grasscutter. This is a short breed Grasscutter. And now if you look at the Grasscutter of this man, this one, the Grasscutter this man is holding, and the one this one is holding, if you discover that this one is shorter and this one is longer, so that is what makes the difference between long breed and short breed. They may have the same weight, they may have the same age, they may be of the same gender, but their body length is what makes the difference between the breed, saying okay, this one is long breed and this one is shorter breed. So like I said, that there's nothing wrong, either you are raising short breed or you are raising long breed, but what will be wrong is that if you are raising a particular breed against your farm setup objective. For example, now if you are, let me say, okay, if you are raising long breed and what you want to achieve is farm multiplication, you are wrong. And if you are raising short breed and what you want to achieve is you want to sell to consumer, you are making a wrong breed choice. So but more about this in the next slide. Now for you to know how to choose right, either long breed or short breed based on your farm setup objective, well, let us now see the difference between short and long breed Grasscutter. What are the difference between short breed and long breed Grasscutter that will help us and give us good information on the kind of breed that we have to choose that will match and fit in for our farm setup objective? Number one, looking at short breed Grasscutter, they are shorter and smaller in body length. That is number one let me say characteristic or peculiarity about Grasscutter, about shorter breed Grasscutter. Number two, they remain sexually active as they grow bigger and older. And number three, female short breed Grasscutter female produce between 4 to 7 kids in their first year and more as they grow older. And number four, short breed Grasscutter, they are good for farm growth and multiplication. That is let me put it there, advantage or peculiarity of short breed Grasscutter. Now let's look at the long breed so that we can now compare the peculiarity of the two to see the difference between the two. Now long breed Grasscutter, they are longer and bigger in body length size. Mark my word, they are longer and bigger in body length size. That is just it. No, I did not mention anything about weight. A long breed and short breed Grasscutter may be of the same weight, but one will be longer while one will be shorter. So that's just the major thing. And number two peculiarity about long breed Grasscutter, they are less sexually active as they grow bigger and older because of their body size. And number three, long breed Grasscutter female produces between 2 to 4 kids in their first year and less as they grow older. And number 4 point or peculiarity about long breed and long breed Grasscutter, they are good for table size production, as in consumption, that is meat consumption. Now let's do some comparison. Now short breed Grasscutter, I can see that they are shorter and smaller in body length, while the long breed, they are longer and bigger in body length. And now if you look at it, and that is just the difference between the two. That's number one. And then number two, they remain sexually active. That is short breed, they remain sexually active as they grow bigger and older, while the long breed, they are less sexually active as they grow bigger and older because of their body size. So one thing about Grasscutter, the short breed, is that they remain active because of their body size. They are not too heavy, too long, so they are sexually active, meaning that they can still service more female Grasscutter for a long period of years compared to long breed Grasscutter. Because of their size, they are smaller in size and they are more active. They can easily mate. They will be active to cross the female anytime, any moment. They will still remain active, whereas the female, the long breed, they will be less active Do you get it now? So that is one disadvantage, or can we call it disadvantage, of long breed male grass cutter. So as they are growing older, they will be growing bigger, and they will be less active sexually. But concerning the short breed, no, their body system will still be active. They can easily carry themselves. They can easily they can be aggressive, and also easily aggressive cross breeding, as in they can easily meet the female grass cutter. And number 3, the comparison between the two, we can see the female, they can produce between 4 to 7 kids in their first year and more as they grow older, whereas in the long breed they can produce between 2 to 4 kids in their first year and less as they grow older. So you can see now that short breed, because their body is not big, but they are virile, they can produce very well compared to long breed. And the last point, but not the least, they are good for farm growth and multiplication. You know, as a result of the number of baby they can produce per time, so it will help your farm growth and multiplication. That is the same thing applicable. The short breed produce more. So if they produce more, that means that in a year, a short breed grass cutter will have produced between 8 and 14 babies in a year, whereas the long one will produce between 4 and 8 in a year. And then you can see the difference. So that is the difference, and that is what answer. That is the reason for the that they are good for farm growth and multiplication. So short breed grass cutter, they are good for farm growth and multiplication, while the long breed, they are good for table size production. In fact, as a matter of fact, for example, now, let's assume that someone you want to sell these 2 animal in the market. If you are holding this one and you say this one is 10,000 naira, and you hold this one and you say this one is let's say 11,000 naira or even 12,000 naira, many of your buyer, I'm talking about consumer now, many of your buyer that they want to buy for meat and for consumption, they will rather go for this one than going for this one, despite a little difference in price. Why? Because it is more attractive, bigger to behold compared to this one. Even they may be of the same age, they may be of the same weight. In fact, this one may be as a matter of fact, this one may be, let's say, 6 kg and this one is 5 kg. People will go for this one first than this one, because the size, the length will be attracted. They will be attracted to the length first. They will know, until you carry it before you know the weight. But by facial assessment, everyone will want to go for, anybody will want to go for this one before considering this one. And the same thing, let's imagine this one is holding its own and this one is holding its own also. More customers will go for this one first and before this one. Even they are of the same age, they are the same weight or whatsoever. So that is the same thing that is what this point is talking about, that they are good for table size. So when it comes to consumption, people tend to buy this one compared to buy long breed compared to short breed. Do you get it now? So now that we have seen the difference between two, that basically on these 3 points, now sexually active, produce 4 to 4 more kids in a year, and growth whatever. Now this will inform your decision which of these breeds fit in to your kind of farm setup objective. If your farm setup objective is you want to produce grass cutter for consumer, by all means go for long breed. And if your farm objective setup is to produce grass cutter for breeders that need it to set up their own farm for profitability, also by all means go for short breed. However, because of your farm setup, as a farmer, you can experiment and have the two in your farm, so that if someone requested for long breed, good, you answer, you will service them. And if someone requested for short breed, by all means you will service them. And not only that, you can also in your farm, you can perform experiment by doing what we call crossbreeding, that is allow long breed grasscutter to mate with short breed grasscutter, either male short breed mating the female long breed, or male long breed mating with short breed female. It depends, but whichever way, like I said, that your farm setup objective should inform the kind of breed you should go for as a starter. And as you are going on, you can decide to have the two breed in your farm, and as time goes on also you can do a crossbreeding of the two breed, so that you can have hybrid of short and long breed animal in your farm, and it will be okay with you. So that is just so. In conclusion, if your farm setup objective is farm growth and multiplication production, start with short breed. But if your objective is stable size, that is meat consumption production, start with long breed grasscutter. So I believe that you have learned something great in this today's presentation. I believe you have learned, and you have learned something. And don't forget again that you have to subscribe to this channel, so that you can be notified every time we upload a new content like this on this channel. Do you have any question or inquiry? Then by all means, you can contact us at Farmsense for any of the following services: training, one-on-one training, group training, training manual in form of ebook, video and audio. You can contact us for this, and you can contact us for grasscutter breed stock, either winner or adult. You can contact us for your grasscutter cage, wooden or iron, and then you can contact us for your grasscutter feeder and drinker. You can contact us for your farm setup consultancy. You can contact us for any other grasscutter farm related services, and all you need to do is just simply call us on +234 081 66 41 6200, or come to our WhatsApp DM for more detail on +234 81 8800 8252. It has been the voice of Oludela Tunishe, the farm manager and marketing officer at Farmsense Grasscutter base, Ibadan, Nigeria. Thank you. God bless you. See you in another time with another insightful training and content. Bye. See you at the top.